I've been getting some requests to do the application of the Crystal Pixies, so that is what I'm going to be attempting to do today. If this audio is not working very well on my computer, then I will be switching to a voiceover, so then you won't hear any of this and it won't matter. What I'm going to be using today is gummy jelly from Enel Couture and Shiny, also Enel Couture. Love Max's stuff. Everything's been amazing so far. This is going to be pretty quick. What I am going to do is the application on this little tiny oval shaped nail here. Now, I picked a white one just because a white background kind of helps everything to pop a little bit. So what I'm going to do is give it a little bit more sparkle in the background of where the Crystal Pixies will be. And since this is a sample, I am not using base coat. It's fine. If this is on a real person and it's a natural nail application such as gel polish, then yeah, I would use base coat, of course. Okay, and I am just going to do one coat. Okay. And I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. And the color that I'm using is Artisan brand. This is from Nail Superstore. I'm not sure if you can see that very well. And the color is Glitzy. Can't see that very well either. Glitzy Gala Pink. There you go. Okay. And the Crystal Pixies I'm going to use today is the last ones that I made, which were the unicorn. So these ones have blues, greens, pinks, purples, and yellows in here, along with some silver. Okay, and now that's cured for 30 seconds, and since I'm not doing a second coat, I'm going to move straight onto the application. And being that I'm going in with gummy jelly, I'm not going to, this does have a tacky dispersion layer left over. It's not a one-step gel, but I'm not going to wipe that off because I'm just going straight into gel application. Now, you don't have to use something as thick as gummy jelly. If you can see, it doesn't run. You don't have to. You can use what you have. You can use any builder gel that you have and any non-wipe top coat, and it'll work perfectly fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of wet my brush with the gel. I only need one side. Okay, going to scoop up about that much, just a little amount. It's not too much. Okay, set it down, brush it through, move to the next side. This will also let me pick up what is left of the gel that squeezed out the sides after I first set my brush down. And I'm just going to keep doing that. Keep painting it on kind of like you would a gel polish. Okay. Now just double check. Make sure that you've gotten all of the sides pretty good. Okay. And I'm going to cure that, covering my gummy jelly, of course. And I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds as well. And while I'm doing that, I am going to clean my brush. I'm wiping the excess off on, excuse my phone, on this napkin. And now what this is just an alcohol wipe that you can get from any first aid section in a store. I use them, I open them up right here because this backing does not let any liquid come off. So I keep the alcohol wipe here and it is moistened, and it just helps me to wet my brush with alcohol and be able to keep cleaning it until I have all of the gel out of my brush. And when using this, I do this a lot. I use that little trick with anytime I'm working with gel, really. If it starts drying on you, because alcohol, of course, does evaporate, I have here alcohol in a spray bottle, and I will just give it a couple of squirts if it's starting to dry out on me. Okay, so that nail has cured. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to give a little bit of thickness between the glitter and the Crystal Pixie. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with, you of course don't have to do that. If you want to go in straight with the Crystal Pixie, you don't have to add any thickness to that. It's fine. Okay, so I'm going to go in with another layer. Brush that on the exact same way that I did the first, and I am trying to make sure that I remove any excess gel from the tips. Okay, once again, clean my brush. Okay, cover your gel because you do not want the light to reach it. Now we're going straight in on top of uncured gummy jelly, with the shiny non-wipe top coat. Okay. And you don't want to press in with this. Excuse me. Don't these people know I'm busy? Now, after using gummy jelly with my shiny, I'm sorry about that. I like to wipe the end that I was using of that brush before putting it back in my bottle. I don't know if it will affect it, but I just don't want the possibility that my gummy jelly will be, that my gummy jelly will be inside the shiny bottle and affect how the non-wipe works with that. I'm going to take a brief minute real quick to answer this phone call because they are calling back, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It was my husband. Okay, so this has a wet layer of gummy jelly and a wet layer of shiny. So now what we are going to do, move this out of the way. You want to pour on something. You do not want to have the beads dropping in, all over the place and falling. I just realized I did not grab something to scoop with. Sorry about that noise. Had to search for it in a box of clean utensils. Okay. So what I'm going to be using is a cuticle pusher. I'm going to use this end. Okay, and you want to pour over. You probably will still get some spillage. It's just normal. I like to hold my display or the finger over the wider end so that it's not too high up. I'm able to lower it down slightly. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of tip it right here at this corner. I really should turn down all the volumes on my phone before I start this kind of stuff. Okay, so you're going to get some beads and start sprinkling them over the wet gel. And turn the finger however you need to get a good angle. You want to make sure that you are dropping the stones in the right places. Okay, so now that you've done that, you will tap at the finger. Tap on the finger if you're really doing this on a person. Okay, now you can use either your gel brush or your finger. And what you want to do is just gently pat these pixies into the gel. So you're not wiping at all. You're not making a brushing motion down. You are just tapping gently. And you don't want to squish gel around either. So you are just tapping gently to press this in. Okay, and if you're using the brush, I find the brush a little bit easier on the sides. So if you have any beads that are hanging over, like I do on this side, it's kind of hard to tell on camera. What you want to do is take your brush and gently tuck them in. Okay, see right here there's a crystal kind of coming off. Just press it so that it gets tucked into the side. Check all your angles. If you have any that come off on your brush, don't worry about trying to force them back on. Just wipe them off. It's fine. Okay. Now, once that's all taken care of and it looks nice and smooth, you're going to go ahead and cure that. And I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 1 minute, and we'll be right back. Okay, the timer is almost done curing, but all of this that you have left over, okay, you don't want to waste that. There's a lot of, crystals in there. Sometimes you get a lot more pour over too. So what you do is, that's why I love these little triangle little plates. They work very well to just pour it back in. Any that are still sticking there may have a little bit of gel residue on them, so you just leave them there. Don't worry about putting it back in your container. Okay, get that out of the way. Okay, now this is finished curing. The reason that I like using the combination of the gummy jelly and the shiny, which is usually what I use for doing crystals, is because before when I would use builder gel and a regular top coat, it would what happened was I would only use the builder gel. I would not use a non-white top coat over the top of the builder gel before applying the Pixies. And even though that does work, in between all of these little beads and crystals, you end up with the tacky layer still there. And so I would spray my alcohol over the nail and kind of dab at it. But doing it this way, you don't have to worry about that at all. Everything underneath is completely dry because you did it with the non-white. Now, you also want to take your non-white top coat now. Take the majority of it off your brush, and we are going to seal the edges because you don't want these stones getting nicked on something and starting to, fall off. And you might still get that from time to time, but this kind of helps to ensure that they stay in place on the edges. Now, on a real person, you don't really have to go all the way up the sides here. You mainly want to focus on anything that is at the free edge. So once you do that, just gently at the sides, then you cure that for 30 seconds. So now I will clean up and take better pictures once the nail comes out of the light to include at the end of the video. And hopefully sometime soon I can invest in a better camera so that you guys can see better all the sparkle and everything that I am trying to do. So this is very beautiful, and the color is just not coming up on camera, so that's unfortunate. But the pictures that I'm going to add will be a lot better quality, and you'll be able to see exactly how beautiful this is. Okay, this is done. And you can see the shimmer, and it's not too thick either. This is completely done, completely dry, it's not too bulky, it doesn't feel too lumpy. There's a little lump here because one of the point back stones landed on its face, so it's pointing up. So there is this one does have a slight point, but that's the only one. That does happen sometimes, but it's not really that big of a deal. There's actually two in this area, But yes, very sparkly. And as you can tell, because I did it on a background of pink, pink is what came through. So I will do this also on another background with another color, so that in the pictures I can show you the difference of what you will see using your version of Crystal Pixie on any other color. The clear AB base that these have lets the color in the background shine through. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera now, and I will include those pictures at the end. Again, thank you for watching. I hope that this answered your questions. And if you're not, please subscribe. I will be coming out with more content in the future. So thank you guys again, and until next time, happy nailing.